This number 442. This actually appeared about a month or 2 months ago, and I asked a question about it, and I never got the answer, so I'm asking the question again. It says resolution to exceed the county tax levy limit and to establish a cap bank. And the questions I asked, I actually asked one question, I never got an answer, but I do have another question. Is this actually two separate items? And what exactly are you saying when you want to exceed the county tax levy limit? It sounds like you want to increase the taxes over and above whatever the limit is. And we already know that, yes, you are increasing the taxes an additional $8 million. So, I need that explained. And I did mention before about the cap bank that I really think you should vote no, setting aside this ethereal dollar amount to possibly increase taxes at a later year. It just doesn't sit right. I pointed out the last couple of months that you're sitting on tens of millions of dollars that you buried in the budget from the selling of Ronald. So you don't need the cap bank. So I suggest you vote no on that, which means you vote no on both parts. So I'd like a couple of answers to those. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll call up Director Taylor for response.
Good evening, Chairman and through you. The resolution presented before you is a pro forma resolution that is provided to all public entities in the state of New Jersey by the Division of Local Government Services. The resolution in and of itself, I can understand the speaker's confusion in that it is somewhat of a misnomer. It could be a little misleading in the sense that it's saying that we are going to exceed the county tax levy. This is dealing under this resolution is specific to the 1977 cap. As previously stated, when we first adopted this resolution, there are two caps that the county has to test. One is the 1977 cap and the 2010 cap. Point in fact, we have to utilize the more restrictive of the cap, and our budget has to be within those two caps. The resolution based upon the 1977 cap does not utilize the excess amount authorized, and as a result, it establishes as a cap bank that can be utilized in the next subsequent 3 budget years if needed. So this resolution only provides maximum flexibility. It does not necessarily add to the budget. It is an item wherein, again, flexibility for future years' use. I also need to just note that, as the speaker mentioned, he did reference the Runnels proceeds. That is not in the budget. The only amount of the Runnels proceeds that is in the budget deals with the debt service that is anticipated of the $488,000 and the $1.5 million that the board has authorized for grants to go back to each of the municipalities. The rest of the money is actually reserved on our book, on our balance sheets. It's on the AFS sheet 3 for all members of the public to actually see. The AFS is the annual financial statement, and that money cannot be utilized unless it is affirmatively approved by the board and then inserted into the budget. At this point in time, again, to reiterate, we only have the $1.5 million for the grant that goes back to municipalities to reinvest in their infrastructure, and the $488,000 that we are required by law in order to pay for debt service.
Thank you very much, Director. Anyone else?
I've got the cap maximum and the amount raised by taxation here from the budget that was over there, and they're the same number. That is, the 1977 cap maximum for this budget is $335,283,323.32. And that's the amount raised by taxation. Just so I'm clear on this, does that mean that the county could not legally spend an extra penny over what is being taxed, or dollar, or anything else? Is this the absolute maximum? Like, if you had to, would you be allowed to spend an extra dollar? Based on my reading on this, it looks like you're spending the absolute maximum that you're legally allowed, or not spending, taxing the absolute maximum that you're legally allowed. And I just wanted confirmation that that's the case, but that's how I'm reading this.
Director.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, again, in prior years, we had cap bank under the 2010 resolution as we did under the 77. The amount that is authorized under the 77, the excess is not anticipated in this budget. If we needed to, we could have utilized the cap bank from the 2010, but we don't need that. And we had cap bank from prior years that we did not include. So no, it is not the necessary maximum at this point in time.
Thank you.
Last one, which wasn't complete, I'm looking at it here, and maybe the tax levy cap in the budget just is missing something. But I guess I could pin it down to just this one question. If you wanted to raise taxes as high as you possibly could, what would that number be? That is, using the entire cap bank, what would be the maximum amount raised by taxation? You would think it'd be in here, but it's not. It just utilizes cap bank from last 2 years without saying what you could utilize. So that was my basic question. You know, if you wanted to go above the 335,283 number that's in this budget, what could you go up to? That's it.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Without adding prior year cap banks, just the levy maximum allowed under the 2010 cap for the 2015 budget, we were allowed to go up an additional $1.55 million. Under the 1977 cap, just for calendar year 2015, we were allowed to go an additional $4.6 million. So we are below both caps, the maximum allowed under those.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment on resolutions?
My apologies, Chair. Just to also advise members of the public as well as the board, the state does not require that we provide the maximum because, point in fact, we have to provide them our entire levy cap book, and that's what they review and they test, and that's what they approve. From a publication standpoint, we only put in the cap that we are subject to and what our levy, the levy that we are actually raising.
Thank you.